It is quite a dark time to be a Newcastle fan.
If anyone deserves success, then it's you lot.
You hear stories about the entertainers breaking world records, playing in the Champions League, challenging for the Premier League title, and you missed all of that.
We grew up in an era of like having like Bobby Robson under Freddie Shepherd, like spent money.
It's your money. It's the money you've spent on your replica shirts. It's the money you spent on your season tickets and your bonds.
Got DVDs of the good old days.
Newcastle's win over Bolton moves them 12 points clear.
I can't see anybody catching them now.
It just feels like completely disconnected to the Newcastle I know.
I was a bit too young in the Freddie Shepherd era.
To have fallen to like kind of where we are, it is very disappointing.
It's hard having Mike Ashley as an owner when he doesn't want to back the club.
I really have only ever known a Newcastle under Ashley.
There is a bit of a tension in the air, I think, like because no one's happy. I think it's a boiling pot ready to blow. Like Rafa could walk out at any minute and no one could blame him. And once that happens, it's all going to kick off.
There's been dissatisfaction for a long time now. If we're talking about the Mike Ashley sort of era at Newcastle, I think it's coming to a head at the moment because they have a manager who represents hope and they have an ownership who aren't kind of prepared or able to sort of deliver on that hope.
You have to be calm, you have to analyse things, and you have to be sure that everybody's giving everything.
Before Rafa came, the entire club was fractured. And then when Rafa came, you got this real sense of unity.
The atmosphere, the fans, everybody in the city is helping, so I am convinced that we will do well.
Finished last season 10th. This summer was the chance to really push on, solidify that top 10.
Mike Ashley has made a statement, Alan. I know you're always interested in these. Rafa, as always, has my full support. I will continue to ensure that every penny generated by the club is available to him.
Copy and paste. different date.
From last year?
From last year. It's exactly the same thing. Give him some money to spend then.
At the end of last season, Mike Ashley said that Benitez could have every penny that the club generated. Now, this summer that proved to be minus 20 million quid, and I don't know how that makes sense. I don't know how that can be right.
Brighton are spending hundreds of millions. Huddersfield spent what, 75, 80 million?
Like that, yeah.
How can you not even just compete with that?
Like, no disrespect to them teams, but Newcastle is a bigger club. Like you say, the stadium, it's massive, one of the biggest in the country, and to not be able to compete, teams like Wolves and Brighton and Huddersfield, it's a joke, man.
The fans are trying to get behind the club, but it doesn't feel like the club is getting behind the fans as much.
We're never going to move on as a club if we carry on the way we are. Basically need somebody else to invest in the club if we ever want to move forward.
Mike Ashley was very lucky with what he inherited at the club. He inherited a stadium that didn't need to be rebuilt, but it hasn't been touched in the last 11 years, and there are signs of wear and tear now.
It's dirty, and it's muggy, it's had no maintenance done in years.
He's let the place go a bit. There's mould, the ground's rusting, it's falling apart really. He needs to in his pocket a bit, I think.
The training ground has been given a lick of paint, more or less. It's not a purpose-built structure. The treatment room is a converted squash court. If you're a footballer and you're getting shown around Newcastle's training ground, that's not going to be something that persuades you to come, quite the opposite. When you have that and also the relative lack of investment on the playing side, there are clear issues at the club.
Ladies and gentlemen, Newcastle United presents Alan Shearer!
The simple fact is that kind of thing will never ever happen again. That was a world record fee. Shearer was a local boy, it was a homecoming.
It's lovely to see a Geordie come back home. We've sold him off time and time again up here. That's gone at this club now.
You see the city doing stuff like that and you want to be part of something like that. Missing that is sickening.
You see the turnout that was there for Owen as well, though. Thousands of them turned up during the week in the rain.
Michael Owen has had some special welcomes, some special greetings in his time. He will never in his life have witnessed anything quite like this.
How is that even possible? Michael Owen, 16 million.
It's not a difficult record to break, especially when the money that's in football now. It shouldn't be that hard.
Back then it was all right money, now it's a bit of a joke. It's bleak, innit? It's so bleak, grey, no future.
There's no great feeling that it's on the verge of being sold. He's tried to sell it 3 times now, he's failed 3 times. Is he really a genuine seller?
Why would he sell? It's a constant money-making machine for him. He's asking for 400 million, which is too much.
I think it would change in a heartbeat if the owners changed.
Someone who owned the club, who actually had a passion for football, who cared about football, who wanted to make this a big club again.
I reckon Benitez will be gone by Christmas if he don't get the back end of the board.
What's he getting out of staying here? He's a Champions League winner.
We're now into the last year of Rafa's contract, and the fear is that he walks away and that the club reverts back to how it's been over the past few years, which has been a very cut-off club, a very cold club, and a club that doesn't have ambition.
You want to make your own stories, you want to be able to pass the stories on younger fans, but you can't when there's no ambition from the club.
It's not just about money, it's about wanting Newcastle to be a thriving sporting institution. At the moment it's not, it's a works team for Ashley's company.
A lot of people say Newcastle fans are quite delusional, but just want a team that's good enough to compete.
You've got to stick with your team, you have to.
It's the city, it's one club.
We haven't had nothing to cheer about for years, man, so we'd love to just be able to compete and not just fight for 17th.
That's all we really want. We're wanting to win the treble.